For joining us. I'm here with my pals from our community class. We're kind of helping produce this event. Just want to start by saying our land acknowledgement. Marijuana Student Program learns and lives on the land of the Lenape, Muncie, and Wapato people, and we pay respect to their ancestors, past, present, and future. Today we want to welcome you to our think tank, our second think tank of the semester. We've got Ronnie Benion in the house. We've been trying to do a collab with Ronnie for quite some time, and we're so lucky because we're doing a double collab. We're doing a think tank this week, and next week we're doing Peppermint, which we're so excited about. So DEI Theater love is happening, so we're so grateful to have you. Make sure that you check in with Lena, who's here, who's taking people in the door. We want to make sure that you're getting that credit for this. So check your attendance. And without further ado, welcome Ronnie Benion.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Good. Hello, I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. This is my first large-scale presentation in a while, so super excited to be here. Today we're going to cover a lot of things, a lot of big things. Anti-racism, migrant enrichment, and conflict resolution. This will be a crash course, right? It has to be a crash course. If any one of these topics, you can do a day-long retreat, a weekend-long retreat, a week-long retreat, right? You're going to do a lot of things in a short amount of time. If you want something more in-depth, going a little further, let me know. I'm happy to come back and do it. Any one of these things, you can definitely do that. So, thinking about that, always want to start with some work in a group, right? We're going to talk about some heavy stuff, going to give you some tools. So when I work in agreements, you want to think about using I statements. We're going to ask you questions, right? You only can speak from your own personal experience. Honestly, for yourself, you like to ask questions. I'm big on asking questions. I'll talk to you. Maintain confidentiality, right? And things will be said. And then space, let's keep it in space. We're going to experiment with new ideas. Some may be new ideas, right? Some you may know, some of you do, right? And learn to hold multiple truths. acknowledge the liveliness of language, right? Sometimes language can get very heated or tense or feel discomfortable or electric. That's what it is, electric. Right? We're going to acknowledge that, right? And think about how it can keep that energy and keep that momentum going with our language. And another one I like to say is, what's set in stays here, going back to maintaining confidentiality. What's learned here, what you learn, take it out, right? Live it, right? Have conversations with other people. So, just want to start.
Are you going to be against that? What else?
Yes, who are you? All right, BB.
I am a young black woman who is interested in creating community and being open to learning different types of artistic trades. This is so great. I love this. Like, I've never been like, who is like interested in a lot of different artistic trades and very interested in fighting for social justice and like strong law.
All right, we'll take one more. One more round. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alex. I am a trans non-binary person. I'm white with Irish and Italian Catholic heritage. I'm a horseback rider. 26. Wow. I'm from the Midwest, and I'm a proud father of 2 cats. And as of recently, I'm a sex worker.
Thank you all to all my volunteers and everyone for participating. Right? I have a question. Who are you? Because who are you is going to be the thread throughout the entire series. Right? Who are you? Because we're all socialized in very specific ways. A lot of us may have started answering the question of who are you with our social identity. Right? Again, I'm a black gay man. 3 social identities that shape how I move through the world. Right? Because that brings with it socialization. So there's this video I'm going to show by Nell Mark-Allen, who is this mind-boggling prolific person who did a TEDx talk in Berlin, really talking about this concept of the ordinary of racism. Right? So,
One thing that can be puzzled is I haven't studied science and economics of the world testing or especially mathematics. Why is it that 5,000 units of our currency is worth 1 unit of your currency, when we are the ones with the actual overuse? Quite evident that the aid is in fact not coming from the West Africa, but from Africa to the Western world. The Western world depends on Africa in every possible way in terms of resources there. How does the West ensure that the free aid keeps coming? Systematically stabilizing the loss of African nations and their support. And all that fact huge damage. Leaving the entire world under the impression that Africa is poor and dying, and merely surviving on the mercy of the West. Hold on. And all the other organizations that continue to run multi-billion-dollar advertising campaigns to quickly charity for the same image of Africa. Ad campaigns paid for by innocent people under the impression of the recognition. On one hand, gives under the flashing light of cameras, the other takes in the shadow. We all know the government worthless, but it will really charge the dirty people in the money. How can one expect donations from nations that have so little? A secret freedom under the colored paper in exchange for a golden diamond. But instead, empty-handed, those who integrity and honor. We want to share with you our wealth and invite you to share with us. The perception is that a healthy and thriving Africa is not exposed to resources as free and cheap. This is wonderful. But to accept some resources and world market prices, which in turn will be done by the weakened Western economy, established and post-colonial trading. Last year, the IMF reports that 6 out of 10 of the world's fastest growing economies are in Africa, measured by the GDP growth. French trade, for example, is beginning around $500 billion within. Foreign exchange reserves from African countries based on colonial debt fiscal deficit. Former French President Jacques Chirac stated in an interview recently that we have to be honest and acknowledge that a big part of the money in our banks comes precisely from the exploitation of the African continent. In 2008, he stated that without Africa, France will slide down in the ranks of third world. It will happen immediately. The world has to live. And the other wonders of nature. And we see that evolution of physics provides. However, in nature, any species that is overhunting, overexploiting the resources is dependent on evolution. Natural selection is sooner or later decided to happen. Because it affects the planet.
Initial reaction.
I thought it was very striking how, I mean, obviously she's right, right, but she's not very simple beyond just like at all, and how we were all going in that.
Systems are built for people with power. And they're not built for many of us in this room. Sarah Lawrence wasn't built for many of us in this room. Right? Think about it. So, I want to start with this because it goes really into the point of that inherent differences among various human racial groups determine cultural or individual achievement, usually involving the idea that one's own race is superior and has the right to dominate others, or that a particular racial group is inferior to the others, right? A policy, system of government, etc., based upon or fostering such a doctrine, right? Is hatred or intolerance of another race or other race, right? One instructor that in the U.S., racism is ordered, right? One of the key tenets of critical racism is the ordinariness of racism. It's built into every aspect of life. Race always comes into play, right? In every interaction, right? And how we move the world. So, in thinking about this, here's a little pyramid, right? We all know overt white supremacy. We know these things, right? Lynching, hate crime, swastikas, KKK, N-word, burning crosses, racial slurs, right? Racist jokes, neo-Nazis, right? We all can name that. Can we agree that those are bad? Right? But here's the thing underneath. Like, you gotta think about the thing, right? You see the iceberg, right? What was above, right? What's underneath is a lot more insidious, right? It's hiring discrimination, right? Discriminatory lending, racial profiling, mass incarceration, Make America Great Again, Confederate flag, not believing the experiences of people of color, right? The self-appointed white ally, right? It says, don't blame me, I never owned slaves, right? Celebration of Columbus Day. Yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day. Right? It's cultural appropriation. It's not challenging racism. It's colorblind. How many people have heard someone say, I don't see color, I love everybody? Well, you don't see me and all this melanated beauty. Right? So we have to think about not only what are the overt things, but what are we doing to challenge these covert things that are happening? Because they happen every single day. I can say, in my 29 years of life, there has not been a day that I haven't experienced one of these covert things in some way, shape, or form. Right? So let's think about these things. What are we doing to challenge them? So when we think about challenging, let's think about what is antiracism, right? So there's what people think antiracism. It's a buzzword. Everyone's like, oh yeah, antiracism. Antiracism is not an action. It's a verb. It's a verb. Right? So antiracism is a belief or doctrine that rejects the supremacy of one racial group over another and promotes racial equality in society. It's a belief or practice that recognizes pervasive racism in society and actively combats racial injustice, prejudice, and discrimination in order to promote racial justice and equality. Okay? I'm going to go to the last part, because this one I was like, ooh, yeah. Most people are proud if they are not racist. Okay? But anti-racism establishes a higher bar. What are you doing to dismantle racism? What are you doing? Anti-racism is an action. What are you doing? Right? How are you decentering whiteness and white supremacy? Right? In the classes, right? In the classes, in productions are putting on, right? In everyday conversation, how are you decentering whiteness and white supremacy? Right? So again, white supremacy and racism is ordinary. Right? Then everything we do, right? Everything we experience is centered in whiteness. Right? So not only how are you decentering it, that's one part, how are you decentering it, but also how are you challenging it? What are you saying when I'm not in the room? What are you doing? mark, right? For some people, a non-guilty vote for a minute, right? But it links to everybody, not guilty vote for a minute. So I'm gonna start with this. Every person is it. If you have a privileged identity, you are it in that identity. Because you don't have to think about the impact that others who are experiencing that oppression have faced, right? For me, I'm able to currently, I was able to walk up to these hills, don't hate that hill. I was able to walk up, right? There's so many times where I don't think about how inaccessible campus is, right? Because that's not my living space. Right? Try to think about it, but that don't mean that that's my confidence. I'm always thinking about like, how about blackness showing up today? Right? Because depending on the environment, right, it may need to be like, all right, somebody gets the response I want, maybe tone it down a little bit. Right? So think about that. Like every person is in. Oh no. Right? Everyone is in. There's no question to it, right? I know there have been times where perpetuated capitalism. Right? There have been times where perpetuated ableism. Right? So those are two identities of systems where I have privilege. I don't have to think. I don't have to think. But you don't have to think about what the impact is. Alright, I'm gonna do another video of Brittany Cunningham, right? Who I absolutely adore and would love to somehow get to the campus at some point just to eat. But in the video, she was giving a talk in conversation to a group of teachers, a group of white teachers, and someone asked the question, what advice do you have for your white allies? Right? So what she does is she's like, how much time I got? Right? So we're gonna take a little bit of time to think about how we expand what an ally is. You may or may not watch the whole video, but I can definitely send the whole video link out. Just for 35.
You can get to your white ally. Why do you get paid? Great, this is a great question. It is a great question, and I use this question often. So let's keep thinking. We only have 30 minutes. One is see becoming an ally as a first step. See your aspiration as becoming an accomplice and a co-conspirator. Here's what I mean by that. An ally shows up when there's convenience. An accomplice shows up when there is a risk. A co-conspirator decides to go into the risk proactively because they help create the plan in the first place. There has to be levels to this thing if you are going to participate pro-life. So my first piece of advice is to be fully an ally, but be committed to becoming fully a co-conspirator. The second is to understand fundamentally what your work is. There's, I'm trying to remember the saying, I can't remember, but someone said if you are trying to help out on an issue that you don't know about, listen for a year before you go and engage. And then when you do go and engage, ask permission from the community that is most affected by this problem to be engaged. Often we come with an unintentional failure complex that says, I got the education, I got the money, I got the background, I got the professional experience, so of course you want my help. Of course, I know better than you. Of course, I can set the agenda and then expect you to follow in. That is a surefire recipe for disaster. It's a surefire recipe to actually make much more harm than you do good, because you are using your privilege to silence the very people who should be leading the work. All the time of education, when we talk about education and equity, my leaders are not these really great people not to go and drown anybody out, silence anybody, or stand in the process. All of your work is to resource the people who are most affected, let them set the agenda, and let them dictate your role. It can be.
I'm gonna stop a second. Also, sorry, the subtitles are a little wonky. Take that as on. So the stop there, and I'll make sure you all get holding first. Or experience the holding first. So, what does it mean to be an ally, accomplice, or co-conspirator? Right? Choose your knowledge. Choose your knowledge. And I do that. So, if you were to look up ally, accomplice, and co-conspirator in the dictionary, ally gets this really nice definition. I'm going to support you. We're there for you with it, right? Accomplice, negative definition, right? Non-existent. Co-conspirator, negative definition, right? That's intentional. Why would you say, yes, an ally, but aspire to be an accomplice in the co-conspirator, right? Because the system is working, right? If you're an accomplice in a co-conspirator, you're trying to tear down a system that has been working, right? To perpetuate the system. So, an ally, kind of paraphrase, incorporate. An ally will support a cause when there's personal benefit and community, right? If you think about allies to clear up the community, right? The ally will show up to the property, right? The allies will show up to the property, right? Have the biggest flag, right? Lit up everywhere, right? Be the loudest at the drag show. Yes, queen, yes! Right? Look at you out, right? Your accomplices are gonna support a cause even when there's a risk for that person, right? And they'll take action to help marginalized, right? They're gonna do something. They're not gonna be like just for the fun stuff. They're gonna be there for like, okay, things are bad. How do I support this? Right? Things are bad. I'm gonna go to the protest. I'm gonna be at the rally. Right? Think about an accomplice though. They will take action. It doesn't mean they always take the right action, but they'll take action. Right? A co-conspirator will actively support a cause, despite any personal risk, and put forth effort to create change with permission from the party in power. Right? They're going to be the ones who, like, pretty kind of said. They're going to say, hey, what's my role? What is my role in challenging racism? What is my role in challenging sexism? Right? Like, you're the one that's granting. You set the agenda. You tell me what my role is. I'm not going to show up and just take up space. Right? So when I first started thinking about this last summer, summer 2020, when I first started thinking about this, I was thinking about like all the Black Lives Matter protests that were happening, right? And how each an ally, accomplice, and co-conspirator would show up in the protest, in the movement. An ally will post on social media and donate money. Right? I'm gonna post Black Out Tuesday. I'm gonna tap my black box right there. Right? I'm gonna donate some money one time. Right? An accomplice will be at the protest. They're gonna show up to the protest. What a co-conspirator will do, alright? A co-conspirator will reach out to either the organizer of the protest or their peer group, folks that are impacted, right? And say, what you need to do. Right? What do you need me to do? How do I help? How do I support? Right? It may be, alright, you need me to talk to other white folks to talk about the importance of this, right, of these protests, right? Do you need me to be, do you need That's where the co-conspirator is going to be. Right? They're in the thick of it. They're asking, you tell me what my role is. Right? Ally, accomplice, co-conspirator. None of these are bad. Being an ally isn't a bad thing. It's the first step. Right? And I will also say, you cannot be a co-conspirator for every single movement. Do not try. No one has that time or energy to do that. Right? Pick a couple things to be a co-conspirator for, a couple most things to be a accomplice for, right? Be an ally. Right? That's okay. Right? Because for the movements you're an ally for, others are the accomplices and the co-conspirators. Right? But the aspiration should always be to move towards that co-conspirator. Questions thus far? And then the whole workshop on this particular topic, I'm sorry. So, let's think about some of the barriers. Personal risk. It's risky. Right? What am I putting on the line? Right? To be an ally and accomplice or a co-conspirator. Right? I don't know enough about this movement. Right? I don't know enough about Marxism. I don't know enough about Antiracism to be an ally and accomplice or co-conspirator. I don't know how they do it. It's not my place. How many people have heard that? It's not my place to do anything. Right? This belief in personal interaction, like relationship with problems, that denial aspect, right? This belief that, oh, I'm not really interested in it. Or denial of God, there's an issue that's actually. Those are common barriers for folks being allies, accomplices, and co-conspirators. Right? We also have to recognize, right, as I say, everyone is this. Right? When you don't acknowledge that, yeah, I benefit from this system, and you are trying to challenge it. Right? If you don't believe that you have a personal relationship to the problem, you're going to perpetuate more harm. Right? So allies can cause harm, right? You have to acknowledge that they cause harm. Right? And that every day, no matter what the system we're talking about, we continue to perpetuate that. Right? We challenge it, but the cost we also perpetuate unintentionally. Now, how do we enact all of that? Right? This is a big one. You can take a screen, like photo, anything you need to do for this one. Right? The first thing is, and I intentionally said, can't talk about doing anti-racism work. It's because to do it, the person that doesn't experience it, you have to be an ally. How that's right, and who you are determines how you respond to that. You have to recognize it's not about you. First step, it ain't about you. If you aren't negatively impacted by racism, right? Anti-racism is not about you. You are not sensitive in that experience. Center yourself as a white person in anti-racism work is perpetuating racism. Right? It's doing the opposite of what you're hoping to do. Right? You have to move your ego. Right? You're going to make mistakes. Right? How do you heal from those mistakes? Help others heal from those mistakes. It's okay to ask questions. Right? Google is free. It is free. Right? But you can ask others. Right? You can always ask me. My entire job is for you to ask questions. Right? You can ask questions. Do your own research and self-work, right? Think about what is your relationship to whatever isn't, right? It is. What do you want to do? Engage with the community or population that is impacted by that system, right? Do that engagement, right? With that group. Because they set the agenda, find out what their needs are, because they're setting the agenda, right? And participate in sustained efforts, right? It's not always just I did this community service project one time. What are the sustained things that you can do and participate? And sustained effort doesn't always have to be going to events, going to multiple programs. It can be, I am committing to having conversations with my problematic family members on the regular, right? And helping challenge those emotions that come into play. It's about building trust, right? Listen, be it ally, conflict, or conspirator, you can't name yourself that. You can't name yourself an ally, an conflict, or a conspirator, right? That is given to you based on your actions and the trust that you built in that community, with the conflict. And again, check your peers. Even when the marginalized populace, words are hard. Even when the marginalized population isn't in the room, right? As I said earlier, what are you saying when I am not here? Right? What are you saying in a group of people who identify just like you when they do some problematic things? Right? What are you doing? What is your reaction? Are you letting things slide? Otherwise, I would not let slide. Right? Also, if I am in this space, it's not gonna happen. It's okay to not let me be the person to respond. Any questions thus far? Alright. 5-minute break, get some down there, get some water.
It's up to you. If you want to, then yes. I realize I completely just took it from you without verbalizing if you wanted to or not.
No, you're good. I was just saying, like, maybe you're hungry so tired. I have no problem in keeping it.
Then I'd say yeah, sure, because I want to mess with this for a second.